Welcome back to Becoming Better Together. I'm your host, Brie. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I am 6 days into my 100-day challenge for myself. And if you want to go back, it's a few episodes ago, but what I committed to for myself was doing 100 free coaching calls so that I coach every single day for the next 100 days and really step up to the plate and really prove to myself that no matter what could possibly get in the way, I can still show up for myself, show up for my clients, show up as the person that I truly am and do the thing that is really just lighting my soul on fire right now. And that is mindset coaching. So for 100 days, I'm on day 6. I've had fantastic calls so far. When I actually made the call to action, like, hey guys, here's this link, you can schedule calls with me, I was stunned how fast some of these filled. And so I haven't mentioned it again on social media at all because I'm booking out until almost the end of October at this point. So if you want to get on my calendar, please go ahead and find that link. I will post more about it later when we're closer to the time that I have calendar openings. So, okay, long story short, 100 days. This is some of the topics that I am getting so far. And so as I go through this, I'm going to go ahead and share with you the things that people are really coming to me with, that they're struggling with, because my hope and my goal is that we all struggle with the same thing. So I don't want you to feel so alone in your thoughts and in your mind and in your mindset and in your business challenges, in your sales challenges, in your self-belief, in your confidence. Guess what? We all struggle with the same things. And so I'm seeing patterns already, and it's only 6 days. And what's wonderful is I can see what people are having questions with ahead of time because I made everybody fill out a little bit of a form. So I know how to help them going into the call. All right. And so 2 things keep coming up and they continue to be asked all the time. I've asked this myself. If you are listening to this, you have probably had the same question. And it's, how do I make things go faster? I know what I need to be doing, but it's just not happening as fast as I want. That's number 1. How do I make it go faster? The second thing is, I know what I need to be doing, and I'm just not doing it, and I don't know why. And so no matter what camp you have been in, maybe you've been in both. I have been in both many times. And so we want to speed things up. We know what we should be doing. We're probably doing some of the activities, but maybe not consistently, or maybe not as well as we really think we are, and that we just feel like there's some missing piece out there. Like, okay, something's got to change. I can't continue on this path forever. And what is this missing piece? Or again, I know what I need to be doing mentally, but physically, am I actually going and doing the activities? Not always. And so those are the 2 main questions that I have been focusing on, and I keep hearing and I keep trying to help people overcome. And so what I want to talk about is, how do we speed things up? How do we increase performance? How do we get some time back and make sure that we actually commit to doing the activities that we know we should be doing, and maybe we're just not doing them? And so what I want to bring forward is Pearson's law. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but look it up. And what this is Pearson, his name is Carl Pearson. He's an old mathematician that Einstein used to study, actually. And so he studied performance and wanted to figure out, like, what makes performance actually improve. And so to answer that question, what makes performance improve is actually tracking it. And if you track your performance, it will improve. But here's what he also found out. If you track your performance and report it back, it improves exponentially. And so this is the very reason that coaching matters, that coaching can really help you, help those that you coach. If you're a coach with me, it's reporting back and having accountability that makes all the difference in the world. And so for you, if you're watching this, how many times have you set a goal for yourself and it became more of a wish and nobody was really holding you accountable except yourself, your own mindset, your own self-talk, and eventually the Rolodex of excuses comes up when we don't feel like doing something. And when our feelings don't match our logical and our emotion and our rations that are saying, yeah, but we should be doing this, but we don't feel like it, we're not going to do the activity most of the time, unless somebody's holding you accountable to it. And so when we are our own accountability systems, let me ask you, how often does that actually work? It's pretty low. And so some of us just have amazing willpower, have amazing drive, but it's not consistent. And so this was me. Like when I get motivated about something, I can do it and I can last for a while. But when it's just me holding myself accountable, I'm the first to admit I'm on team people pleaser. And if it's for somebody else, I am more likely to do it. I'm trying to overcome this and understand and shift that mindset. So as I do this, again, I will share with you, I am no expert. I am just trying to take what I have learned and just apply it to my life and share, and hoping that it can help you as well. And so what I have learned in myself is I need accountability. I need it. And so it has helped me night and day. Difference in my own business when I have accountability versus when it's just me, myself, and I holding myself accountable. In a perfect world, will we all hold ourselves accountable and have amazing success? Sure. But that's just not my past reality, and that hasn't been my reality yet. And so I need accountability. And so what I'm learning and listening to everybody else that's speaking to me, and I talk to people about this and all of these 100-day calls, the people I've talked to so far, that is a very glaringly obvious missing piece that so many of us have, is that we want to make changes. We know what we should be doing. We're getting advice, we're getting guidance. But when rubber meets the road, when it comes time to do the actions, if nobody's holding us accountable, the excuses are usually stronger than that motivation after some time. And then usually, again, that goal becomes kind of a wish, kind of the priority falls away because it becomes a little more of a dream, like, yeah, that would be nice if, and it's not really a commitment. And so when you have an accountability person checking in, holding you to that Pearson's law concept of, listen, if you record your progress and then you report it back to somebody outside of you, to a coach, to an organization, to your spouse, to your kids, to your grandmother, whoever it is, if you report it back, your progress is going to expand exponentially because you have somebody else to report to, and it works. And so if this sounds like you and you're like, yeah, I go through these phases, Brie, I do this all the time. I want to do something. I've got great motivation for about a week, maybe less, maybe more. And then slowly that motivation goes to die. And slowly I go back into my old patterns. I go back into my old phases. I go back into my old same self, and not a whole lot changes. Or it just takes forever is what it feels like. And it's just a lot of willpower, it takes a lot of drive, and eventually you kind of burn yourself out of it and you lose some of that desire to really change because it just feels like you're beating your head against the same wall and you're doing the same things over and over, and the why starts to fade over time. And again, you're doing it for yourself. Ourselves, our mental self-talk is really, really good at talking us out of things. And so having that extra layer of accountability, having that extra outside person, whoever it may be, to report to, makes a world of difference for your progress. And so for these 6 people that I've talked to now, I give everybody homework. Even if I've had a free call with people and we don't work together, I give everybody homework because I want them to report back. And it is amazing. It is amazing the messages that come into my inbox afterwards about, okay, just talking to you once, just having somebody to report to a week later, 2 weeks later, finally got the needle moving. Finally was that missing piece that we needed to pull out to make everything fall into place of where it needed to be. And so for you today, what do you need someone to hold you accountable to? What is that wish, that desire, that dream, that business target you have been wanting to hit, but you've been treating it more like a wish and less like a commitment? And how can you go get accountability so that it becomes a commitment and you have someone to report back to? It's very different to have a peer that holds you accountable to something and that challenges you, or a friend, a loved one that's like, it's okay, life is hard, I'll be here, you can complain to. That is not the accountability I want. We're not looking for friends and loved ones here. We're looking for someone to hold you accountable as a peer that challenges you to do more, to show up, to be more. All right, if you don't have that right now and you're like kind of looking around, kind of thinking, ooh, I don't really have that in my life, it's okay. I was here too. I was here, and this is why I started in coaching in the first place, is because I walked away from all of my old friends, literally. I walked away from almost everybody in my life when I was going through transition, when I finally woke up one day and said, I am done being this version of me that I didn't know anymore. And I was really, really lost in this phase. And so for me to grow, I had to shed a lot of my past. I had to shed a lot of the people I was around. I had to shed a lot of the things that were keeping me stuck. And with that, sometimes when you go on these self-empowerment journeys, you go on self-development, it can be a lonely ride. And so why I started a Facebook group, why this community exists, why I have this podcast, the whole thing, was because I was looking for other people going through these changes so that we could have accountability partners. That's how this all got started. So now if you are in that same place and you're like, I need more people that get it, that are wanting to bring in new and more and different, and actually be peers that challenge us, not be the friends that love you but are there for you to complain and be the victims and have excuses and convince you to go out for beer and pizza instead of actually cooking the food that you want to and going to the gym or doing what you need to do, right? We're here to support each other in the best way, not just be there for you to land when you need someone to vent to, all right? So if you need an accountability circle, if you need a place to have peers that challenge you, that is something that right now, not forever, but right now I am piloting a small accountability group. And we meet every single week on Zoom together to actually move the needle forward with our goals, and we report back. So we're taking Pearson's law, we are putting it into action. And so every day we text each other our accountability. We say, here are my priorities, and then we check in and we say, hey, did I hit them? Did I not? Here's what happened and why. And then what's happening here is we're having people to report to that are outside of our friends, our family, our loved ones, and we're seeing progress. And so if this sounds like something you are intrigued by, you're like, oh my gosh, I have been needing this, or I'm just at least curious about it because it sounds like something that could benefit me, reach out. Because this is the first part of it. I am only taking action takers in this group. This is not for everybody because it takes daily commitment. And so if this is the missing piece that you need to have everything else fall into place, you have to be the one to take the first step, and you need to reach out to me and say, hey, I need this, I want this. And then I'll send you all the information in the world and we can talk about what it would look like to join the small pilot program. Again, this is not for everybody. But if you are feeling it right now and you're like, this feels right to me, this is what I've been missing, I definitely need accountability, I've been on the same hamster wheel forever and I know what I need to do and I'm not doing it, and you're like, I just understand exactly what she's saying right now, again, please reach out to me. That is how you can get in the club. It's called Accountability Club. It's run by me and one of my coaching best friends. I love him. He is in my mastermind program with me, and we just connect at such a deep level with what we teach and how our journeys have been and how we got into coaching, and it's just a lot of fun. And so if you want to be part of our pilot program, I am accepting new people into it while we test it for a couple months at a very, 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 very low cost. It'll be the cheapest program I ever run. If you want to be part of the pilot group and be in a community of like-minded people to hold you accountable, please message me, come get in the club. I would love to have you. Again, this is for action takers. So you have to do the due diligence. Reach out to me if you want to be part of it. That's what I got for you today. If you don't want to, or if you're in a place where you can't right now, go find accountability somewhere in your life. Because if you have big goals, don't let them die just because we get caught in our feelings and we're the only ones holding ourselves accountable. Because again, our brains, our self-talk, we're really good at finding excuses if we're looking for them. So having somebody outside of you to report to can completely change your progress and can collapse time so much faster. And so if we can help you do that, I would love to. That's what I got for you today. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And if you want to join, come find me on social media. I will be happy to bring you on board. See ya.